this game
and go to Arkansas
and prove we belong in the tournament. If they don't have we got to prove it. Stop bashing our coach. He don't play.
I think the biggest thing for a lot of folks, and believe me, just like you, my phone was blowing up and just I couldn't even watch the game because
people calling for Rodney Terry's job. Don't call for his job.
And number one,
call for the players to step the hell up.
And
how about that?
Not only that, man. Think about this.
Play for him. How about that, guys?
This game has got you got 4 games left. You're at Arkansas. You're at home against Georgia on Saturday. Then you come back. You go back on the road. You go to Starkville, Mississippi, and then you finish the season at home against Oklahoma. Then you have the tournament, the SEC tournament. So you still have opportunities to put yourself in there. But you're looking at a team, and I think the reason why a lot of folks were a little fired up about this matchup, number one, my household, when we were talking about it, we were like, this is a game that, to your point, you got to stay locked, loaded, and ready to go. You cannot be messing around when you go down to South Carolina because that's a desperate basketball team.
Right.
They don't want to be recognized as the team that did not win a conference game. You had to go out there and get busy.
Well, that's not the case because they won one now.
They did win one. And Coach Rodney Terry in his presser after the game talked about what it looked like for South Carolina.
Give a lot of credit to South Carolina tonight. Lamont had his team ready to play at a very high level. When you're coming in, that these guys were a very physical team, played really well at home with a lot of energy and activity. We knew their bigs were really good. New Balls was one of the top players in the league, and he was going to be a handful to deal with, and he was tonight. He played terrific. He was a really hard matchup for us. We really had no answer for him. I thought our guys battled in the second half, but this time of year you can't get out physical in the first 20 minutes of the game.
Rodney, it seemed like their defense was really locked in on you guys, particularly on the perimeter at the start. Was that something different, maybe unexpected that you guys had seen?
No, we've seen that all year long in terms of they play with a different energy level at home. You watch their home games here, and they could have easily won 5 games here at home, and they guard really hard. Having Thomas back is a really good pesky defender. He sets the tone with everything in terms of how hard you guard on the perimeter. He makes other guys around him guard a lot harder as well. And they did a really good job of just being out, more physical than we were, in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Coach, you guys were able to make a run, I guess, later in that game. But what makes this team in South Carolina a little difficult to come back from when it does kind of get to that 20-point range?
Yeah, you can't dig yourself there, dig a hole and on the road and try to work the game. This time of year, you got to – I've said this to our guys, you have to start playing tournament basketball right now, March basketball right now. You can't wait to March. You have to play every possession as if it's the last possession. You got to play with a ton of urgency. You give South Carolina a lot of credit. They play with a lot of urgency tonight, especially on the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, and it seems like Coach Rodney Terry understands what the magnitude of that loss is, but most importantly, he has to get his guys regrouped and ready to go because, to your point, Mark, season's not over.
It's not over.
You still have a chance to make some things happen, but it was embarrassing when you sit back and watch how that game unfolded. 22-point lead for the other team. That is something that you just can't come back from.
They need a gut check.
And got to make sure that they check it right now. Coming up next, we got to talk about our guy, Greg Popovich. Are we at the end of the road? We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Longhorns' journey continues all season long.
Julian Larry out to Johnson. Long contested 3. It hits bottom.
Hear 'em, hook 'em.
Out front, Kent. A high arcing 3 is good for Jason Kent.
On 1300 The Zone.
Kaluma, a rebound.
basketball.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Well, we still have that stop-and-go traffic in the Travis area, 35 northbound between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon, about 11-minute delay there. An accident reported on 35 northbound at Howard Lane. That's about a 2-minute delay. Slow traffic back to Berrywood Drive. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's.
Flu season is here and Randall's has got you covered. The Randall's in-store pharmacy is offering free flu vaccines with most insurance plans. Plus, get 10% off your groceries when you get an immunization at Randall's. Go to randalls.com or check out the app for more details.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
There's no better place to buy your new Chevy than Henna Chevrolet. Right now, we have the biggest discounts in the last 5 years. Plus, 0 for 60 months is available on a large selection of vehicles. As an Austin original since 1936, Henna Chevrolet has been treating customers right and saving them some serious money. For straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, together let's drive at Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want excitement. But you also want a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states. So if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 2,000 times your cash. So go ahead. Make your picks and play for big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Dial **win or go to betrpicks.com and use promo code RADIO to get your first entry matched in bonus funds, win or lose, up to $250. That's **WIN or go to betrpicks.com and use promo code RADIO.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
We know you're loving the new preset feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
So cool, thank you.
But did you know that you can make almost anything a preset? Your favorite local station, sure, but your favorite podcast, that amazing playlist you made for free, even iHeart stations you can't get on the radio, like 24/7 Beatles and iHeart 80s.
That's a game changer.
Whatever you choose, it's as easy as a tap to make a preset. Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Back to Harsh and Henry in the morning kickoff on 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone. Mike Harbaugh Harge, the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, the Mark Henry, and of course we've got our guy Khalil behind the boards. And I want to talk about this conversation about Spurs Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich. And news came out that he was not expected to return this season, and his future is uncertain as he recovers from a stroke that he suffered in November of last year. And now the word on the street seems to be that Pop is not going to come back to be the head coach at all. I think, it's at this moment where he is a stroke is a serious thing.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it is not something that you want to play with. It is not something that he needs to, put himself in another way or harm's way by coming back. Coaching and doing this game is
high stress.
It's the stress level is unbelievable. Rehab and everything else is going through that. But the fact of the matter that Popovich, who is not a spring chicken either, this might be something that the Spurs need to start moving on from. They did at one point. They had Mitch Johnson, who is now the head coach, but the Spurs
who's doing a good
long
job.
time, but the Spurs for a long time have been led by Pop. You don't know anything else. The championship runs and everything else that has been there, but now it is time to finally look for a replacement for Greg Popovich.
What do you think about the current coach, the interim, being the head coach? Or do you bring in somebody that has a storied history and has a true NBA identity?
I don't know as far as the Spurs, as far as what the Spurs are looking for. I think Mitch has done a good job. I think he stepped in the right way to be able to do the things that he's capable of doing. But in the reality of the situation is everybody would want to line up to come in and coach Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, seeing what you have on that squad.
And what you can bring next year.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I know it's disappointing for everyone that is involved because Popovich is a mainstay in this league. Yeah, I know everybody, the well-wishers and everything else that's going on. But a lot of folks have been saying that it has been time to move on for Pop for a long time. They thought that there should have been some changes a while back. I just hate that it has to happen like this.
I don't think that there's Pop has been the problem. Pop has been an advocate for the players. Pop has been an advocate for African Americans in sports. Pop has won multiple championships. He's mentored Hall of Famers by the half dozen. So what's the weakness? Father Time.
Yeah,
that is it.
It's undefeated.
And Father Time is undefeated. At some point, you got to mentor somebody to take your place, or you got to make a change. And unfortunately for the Spurs, who I'm an incredible fan of, they were forced now to make the change. And that's never good, especially when it happens, during the season.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, but, as everything else is concerned, you have to believe and understand that the health and well-being of Greg Popovich is first and foremost. The Spurs organization is going to be around. They're not going anywhere. And another name that a lot of folks was talking about before was Becky Hammon. Do you think Becky Hammon would be a name to pay attention to possibly coming back to coach the Spurs?
And be the first female coach?
Pop would sign off on that.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
He had her with him for a long time, and she was amazing. She's done a great job in the WNBA. I'm not saying that it is going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's a step in the wrong direction. I think that the league may need to have some of that. You got men coaching in the women's game. I don't see that there's a problem with her knowledge of the game and her understanding of the game and systems, that she can't get the job done.
Yeah, she's definitely somebody to pay attention to because she is talented.
There's a lot of chauvinistic pigs out there that's like, man, what are you talking about? But Becky Hammond she's a champion.
She is a champion.
Man, not only as a player, but as a coach.
Yeah, she's very talented, and she's been around the game for quite some time. Obviously, I believe she might even be one of those Hall of Famers. I know she's in the Hall of Fame somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but I know she is. But you start to look at this whole process of situations of being able to replace a guy like Popovich. It sucks because, like I said, he probably wanted to go out on his own terms. But for him to be put in this position, it is going to be something to pay attention to a lot. But the Spurs now have to figure it out on the court. I mean, we talked about it earlier last week about how these teams try to find a way to get better throughout this time. And it doesn't look like the Spurs, who had a big weekend, but they came up short against the Pistons. The Pistons came into the Moody Center and put it on them. And then they go to New Orleans and they end up getting beat by New Orleans 114-96. So it was a tough 2 out of 3 games for the Spurs, Mark.
The Spurs are they're my home team. They're my home state team. And I preach from the highest tower about the Lakers and Magic Johnson and what made me that.
But you trying to get back in the good graces of the Spurs, so that's
I've always loved the Spurs. I mean, from the time that I competed in the Olympic Festival in '91 till now, I've had that relationship with the organization, and I just want them to be good. And coaching wise, I hope they do the right thing. Money wise, they're wide open. They got a lot of draft picks. They got the NBA world by the short hairs. So go out, get the best free agent guy, and let's make this team a winner.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because my question to you is about to be now, San Antonio is not a place or the destination place for a lot of players anyway. They haven't been wanting to do that. Now with Coach Popovich not being there, Coach Popovich is a great recruiter when it comes to or respected by all of the stars in the NBA. What does this do now for possible free agents wanting to come to San Antonio?
Well, they're going to look at who's going to be the coach.
Right.
Who are they going to sign?
That's why they
as the
have to
coach?
get this right.
They have to get it right.
Are you coming to play for Mitch Thompson? Or Mitch Johnson, excuse me. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I would like a change. I think that Wemby deserves that. He only is going to take what he knows right now because he's a rookie. But next year, he's gonna have to weigh in on the coaching decision.
Yeah, I'm just curious to what they end up doing because Wemby being out has now changed the course of this basketball team. He's not going to be able to play. He's not returning this year. You look at Chris Paul. He's getting older. He's getting long in the tooth. Didn't play well in their last game against New Orleans. He was 1 of 10 from the floor and 1 of 7 from three-point land. So he didn't play well. He did have 7 assists, though. But those games are going to be more like that because of the age of him. He's in a bad spot right now. So now you got De'Aaron Fox, who's supposed to be the new face of the team. It
was the 4th game in a row, too.
Right.
The 2 games in Austin. Then you go to New Orleans. And they had the 1 game before they came to Austin for the tour. So, man, that's ugh.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. They're going to end up having to take a break for a little bit. But as anything else, as well as I do, if they can't figure this out quickly, it could finish off and be a long, long season. And they may not be able to get over the hump coming up. They'll play at the Pelicans again on tomorrow.
Time to tank.
Yeah, tank for Tua. Tua's not the guy. When we come back, we'll continue the conversations because I have a question for you about the NFL and the quarterbacks on the move right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Good morning. We still have that slow traffic in Travis, 35 northbound between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon Drive, about a 12-minute delay. Have an accident reported, I-35 northbound at Howard Lane, plus another accident reported, Loyola Lane at 183 at Bluestein Boulevard. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. If you feel like owning a home is out of reach, Rocket is here to give you back the keys because they believe everyone deserves a shot at the American dream. Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET. Again, that's rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
Shop's simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. You're busy. So, Leaf Johnson Ford has made it simple. Pick yours at leafjohnsonford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leaf Johnson Ford. Leaf Johnson Ford has made buying a new Ford simple.
Tossing and turning? Waking up feeling restless? It's time to revolutionize your sleep, and nobody can sell for less than Factory Mattress. Save up to $500 on select adjustable Tempur-Pedic sets and get a $300 free gift. Or get an additional 20% off our factory direct prices on name brands like Sealy, Serta, and more. Start sleeping happier during the President's Day sale at Factory Mattress.
My Factory Mattress.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Make your mark on 48 years of Austin tradition with the Statesman Cap 10K on Sunday, April 6th. Voted the #1 10K in the nation for 2025 by halfmarathons.net. Don't miss out on this iconic Austin tradition. Register now at cap10k.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
The Spurs are shutting down center Victor Wembanyama for the rest of the season after a blood clot developed in his shoulder. San Antonio faces the Suns tonight. Texas is dumping its annual spring game in favor of an NFL-style practice schedule. Coach Steve Sarkisian will model the workouts like OTAs and the pros. For the first time, WNBA trading cards are worth more than NBA. A complete set selling for an average of $1,200. I'm Frank Aaron.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings, the official partner of the NBA.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
The run for a title continues for Texas women's basketball.
Stay on the three and the Longhorns go up by 10.
Catch all the action on our sister station.
Reverse side and got it. What a move on the baseline.
103.1, Austin's 80 station. Hook 'em.
The NFL Combine is just around the corner, and a lot of players have hopes and dreams of making an NFL team. But there's a lot of guys that are in the NFL as we speak, and they too are looking for an opportunity to continue to play in the NFL. We've always heard about it. If you don't have a quarterback, your team's not going to be very good. But there are some quarterbacks that seem to be on the move. One of those being Matthew Stafford. Sam Darnold had a career year. Who's going to make that offer to him? Aaron Rodgers. He is one that a lot of folks, I don't know if it's worth the risk versus the reward. Kirk Cousins, the dude who has made more money, and manipulated the system to the best of his abilities. We talk about all these other agents. I need to figure out who Kirk Cousins' agent is, because that dude just keeps getting paid. And should the Steelers keep Russ or Justin Fields? Mark, we are in that crazy time of the NFL. The combine starts on Thursday, but we want to talk a lot about the NFL offseason and free agency and trade. And we'll talk a little bit in the second hour about Micah Parsons and the conversation about him. But these quarterbacks are some top-level quarterbacks. Now, only out of those names that I mentioned, Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson are all Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. But are they past their prime? Matthew Stafford was two throws away from stopping the Philadelphia Eagles in the snow, mind you.
Matt Stafford is not a problem. Like, wherever he goes, he's going to have an effect. But I really don't think he's going to go nowhere.
You don't?
No, I think they're letting him get out there and shop himself and, go out there and see other people. And then when you realize home is where your heart is, then you come back home. Because he's just putting the feelers out for price.
Yep.
And he's going to realize that the price that he's getting paid is kind of where he is. And you might as well stay home.
Well, as I sit here today, I look at the quarterbacks that are coming out versus the ones that have already been in. You look at the fact that the Rams have granted Matthew Stafford and his agent to be able to go out and shop for their own deal.
Right.
Stafford has $49.7 million cap hit in 2025.
That's cheap.
But the Rams can save what? Cheap? $50 million?
$50 million is cheap when there's people getting 60.
Well, I mean, I don't know. But the Rams can save $27 million by trading him post June 1st. Or they can save $23 million by designating him post June 1st, according to Over the Cap. Now, here's the situation. He's 37 years old. Now, we've seen people go on and play for a long time, but he has a lot of wear and tear. He's hurt
He got a lot of miles, Greyhound bus miles.
Exactly, and he's been hurt a lot throughout his career. But my curiosity to this is if he does walk, the Rams have spoken about keeping Jimmy Garoppolo, who is set to be a free agent, to run the team for whoever else they're going to go. They have Stetson Bennett as their quarterback as well.
Don't ever mention his name again.
I'm just saying that those are the things that have happened. Since he came to the Rams, he is 34-23, Matthew Stafford, that is, put up 14,000 yards passing, 95 touchdowns, and had a QBR of 95.2. And he was a Pro Bowler in 2023. I just think that Cooper Kupp is another guy that's going to be gone, possibly. They're working on some things.
They're working on it.
And you can't try to, like you say, you can't try to sign everybody. But as I said, you have to have a quarterback to lead your team to even give you an opportunity to be in that situation. Well, so we'll see as Matthew Stafford decides what he's going to do. If Matthew Stafford decides to leave and they end up working some deal out, who would you want to see in that offense? Would you see Sam Darnold? Would you believe that Aaron Rodgers would fit in that offense?
I would say Sam Darnold before anybody else that's already in the NFL because he's coachable and he had success. A lot of his problem was the fact that the left tackle was thinking that he had that he was in the bullfighting arena and kept saying "Ole." Like if Matt Stafford would have had a left tackle that could defend his blind side, he would have been fine, and they could have possibly beat the Eagles.
Yeah,
but they couldn't.
Well, I mean, a lot of people could have possibly beat the Eagles. That defensive line was a monster. Me and you both could have been over there, and Jalen Carter would have found a way to get to us.
Yeah,
Jalen Carter would have found a way to get to us.
And maybe it was that. Maybe it was the fact that the Eagles' defense was just too good for the Rams' offensive line.
Yeah.
But whatever the case may be, they lost.
No doubt.
And Stafford is a guy that I feel like he can go play anywhere, and I think Darnold can play anywhere. All the rest of those guys, Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and everybody else in the field, no, I don't see it.
You don't see Russ being part of that?
I don't.
All right, what about Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins, one of those guys that all he
Paper
does
mache?
all he does is make money.
All he does is make money and get hurt.
His contracts are unbelievable. He finds a way to fleece the NFL. His salary was $27 million, and he just keeps getting money every single time. And now he's on the move. He could be on the move. We see what happens when they've already turned it over to Michael Penix, and they believe that he is that guy. But Kirk Cousins, all he does is find money, man. I'm like, I can't help but laugh because somebody always pays him. He's got a career earnings of $294
I know, it's just crazy.
$294.
A second-round pick.
He was with RG3. They drafted two quarterbacks that year.
Yeah.
RG3 and Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins has played so much longer than RG3, and he continues to get money.
I don't know where he's going to play, but he's going to play.
He is definitely going to play. Somebody's going to give him some money. He's going to be a great backup somewhere that might finagle his way into the starting lineup. When we come back, we're going to talk some Texas softball and Texas baseball. Both of them had big weekends, and we'll hear about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's
Life's
close
been
enough
good
for
right.
Joe.
You know, when I see that album cover, For some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. Now, I have to assume he looks like in person.
Right.
Back when
Trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh. There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Good morning. We still have that slow traffic in Travis, 35 northbound between Onion Creek Parkway and William Cannon Drive, about a 12-minute delay. Have an accident reported, I-35 northbound at Howard Lane, plus another accident reported, Loyola Lane at 183 at Bluestein Boulevard. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
Hey, Texas, it's Hardball Harge here, and it's game time at Cover Ford and Hutto, where we're celebrating President's Day with unbeatable deals all month long. Cover Ford Hutto has the championship-worthy savings just for you, like $16,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Expedition. See dealer for details. The Covers have been serving Texans since 1909, and they take pride in the community that they serve. Don't wait. Head over to CoverFordHutto.com or stop by 1200 US 79 in Hutto. Cover Ford Hutto, where tradition meets horsepower.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual.
Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
My name is Kyle Tequila, host of the shocking new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Kenny was a Chicago firefighter who lived a secret double life as a mafia hitman.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything. He was a crazy man.
He was my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Listen to Crook County on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Crook County to start listening.
The new iHeart app.
What do I like about it? Real easy to use. I like that.
Love my presets. If you're not using it, you're missing out.
Go get it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
At the Home Depot, it's our business to support yours. Partner with your go-to source for building your business. We can help you streamline your operations by supplying the whole job from start to finish. Any questions? Our Pro Desk is ready to answer the call with supply sourcing, custom orders, large equipment rentals, and more. Elevate your efficiency and take on more projects with the partner you can trust. The Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. The Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. And now is your chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Dierks Bentley May the 29th at the Moody Center. All you got to do is get over to the iHeartRadio app, hit that red microphone, and leave the keyword plane as in airplane. Make sure you leave that Dierks Bentley May the 29th at the Moody Center. I want to touch on the Texas baseball and softball team real quick. They had an outstanding weekend, and saying that they had an outstanding weekend is an understatement. The Texas softball team has done some things that have been nothing short of amazing. They're 15-1, the #1 ranked team in the country. They had one loss this weekend, their first loss this weekend, as they were in a tournament in it's called the Hillenbrand Invitational in Arizona. They went out there and played well. They lost their first game, but then they ruled every opponent after that, and they continue to stay hot. And here's one of the home runs that was hit this past weekend.
This one's drilled to left center field, and that ball is out of here. A grand slam with 2 outs adds to the Texas lead. Makes it 7-0 Longhorns here in the top of the second inning. 5th home run of the year for Katie Stewart. And she scorches that one out of left center field. Just left of the batter's eye. A grand slam for Katie Stewart.
And it's the 3rd consecutive day that the Texas offense had connected on a grand slam, marking the first time in program history that the Longhorns hit a grand slam in 3 consecutive days. The first grand slam of the season and career for Katie Stewart. So they're back into action. They have done an unbelievable job, and they have done things that we were all excited about. And this team is something that you need to go out and check out. They still get great pitching, but they have an explosive offense that continues to get better. Texas has now outscored its opponents 48-8 by dropping 4-run contests before they lost that game against Stanford. I also wanted to talk about the baseball team because the baseball team got a sweep this weekend against Dartmouth. Dartmouth comes in. They played well, put pressure on the Texas baseball team. They had to perform at a high level. They won 4-3, 3-2, and 4-1. Texas is now 5-1 on the regular season. But I wanted you to hear some of these special moments that was captured by our man, Craig Way.
2-2 the count to Ethan, and the pitch to Mendoza. And he swings and sends one down the right field line. This one, if it stays fair, it's fair, and it's a home run! Right down the right field line and hit the foul pole. Line drive shot off the foul pole for Ethan Mendoza. His first home run as a Longhorn, and Texas takes a 2-1 lead.
And he is a kid that he knew all his life that he always wanted to be a Longhorn, but he was not finished because in the bottom of the 8th, he decided we need to put one more run on the board.
Farmer at second. Mendoza waggles the bat from the right side. Here's the right-hander, Joseph Chambers. The 2-1. He swings here in a ground ball, and that makes it through. In the left center, a base hit. Farmer around third. He'll score. What a day for Ethan Mendoza. He has driven in 2 of the 4 Texas runs. He has scored 2 of the 4 Texas runs. And the Longhorns now lead it 4-1.
He was the offense going 3 for 4, scoring 2 runs, driving in 2 runs. What a day for that young man as they continue to have some special, special moments on the field. But, you know, after the game, Coach Schlossnagle was somebody, he talked about the fact in his postgame about the pitching from his team and the importance of it, because a lot of times you don't know what you're going to get. You get a freshman that goes out there, you get a sophomore, you get seniors that go out there. But yesterday, there was a big-time performance by Dylan Valentis.
Did such a good job of pounding the strike zone. He's a little nervous, I think, in the big league ballpark last week, so he could look looser. His stuff was better, and his stuff was real. That wasn't just, you know, an Ivy League team swinging through pitches. Those are real pitches that are going to get a lot of good hitters out. They got one of the best hitters in the country out at Oklahoma State last week, so we think a lot of them. We're just trying to protect them as best we can.
Number 99 in your program, 6'6" freshman from California, Dylan Valentis is able to go out there and perform. Texas made it through that bad weather this weekend, got all the games in, was able to make some schedule adjustments. They are back at home tomorrow night, 6:30 versus Incarnate Word. They have to come out there and be ready to play. And then they go on the road. They're going to Las Vegas, where they will face Washington, who is now in the Big Ten. At the time of this setup in the Las Vegas Classic, they were in the Pac-12. Now they're in the Big Ten. They will take on a familiar foe on Saturday night in Texas Tech. And then they finish it off against Illinois, another Big Ten team. Outstanding work. I'm excited about that. That Las Vegas Classic is going to be a lot of fun. Before we finish out this hour, I wanted to talk about my weekend. I was in Round Rock, calling the Round Rock Classic. That was outstanding baseball. You got 2 or 3 teams now that are going to be ranked, highly ranked. Oklahoma wins the tournament by going undefeated. They went 3-0. I got a chance to call the game against Oregon State and Virginia, number 2 and number 7 ranked in last week's game. And I got to see the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And one thing I want to say to the Texas fans, to the fans that were in Round Rock, bravo. Because this was the coldest weekend I think I've ever been a part of when it comes to baseball. And we have the option of not going if you're a fan. I had no options because I had to call the games for D1 Baseball, D1Baseball.com to be exact. But one thing that I will say is baseball fans, y'all are a special, special breed. And that is why these fans, these players that show up every single night, they appreciate you. I appreciate you because your boy was freezing in the press box. I called one game that was below freezing. And then yesterday, we got the beautiful sun, and we will have sun all week long. Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 is just around the corner. We got a lot to talk about, and a lot has to do with the NBA, the NFL, and of course, we still have to talk Texas women's basketball right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next 2 combined. So whatever your customers are into, true crime, sports, comedy, culture, they'll hear your message. Plus, only iHeart can extend your message to audiences across broadcast radio. And all this reach means everything. Just think about the universal marketing formula. The number of consumers who hear your message times the response rate equals the results. Now let's get those results growing for you. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Or call 844-844-iHeart. One more time, call 844-844-iHeart and get podcasting working for you.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects. Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
Something amazing is happening in workplaces everywhere. Devices are learning how people work and adapting to help them get more done. That's because CDW is modernizing experiences with Dell's intelligent portfolio of devices. Thanks to built-in security and AI capabilities, your teams can work smarter wherever they may be. Dell and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Harge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 on a Longhorn Monday edition of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We started the show talking about the Texas men's basketball team and an unfortunate loss on the road in South Carolina. We talked about Greg Popovich, about not coming back this season and what does that mean for the San Antonio Spurs. We've also talked about the quarterbacks in the NFL, where's their next destination, and of course, Texas baseball and softball had unbelievable weekends. But right now, let's get into the NBA. Lake Show finally showed up, did something they hadn't done in quite some time, and that is beat the Denver Nuggets 123-100. What a performance between LeBron James and Luka Doncic, as Luka finally looked like himself. And a lot of folks are thinking this is what this team was supposed to look like. I know Dallas fans are looking a little bit upset, and don't forget, this week, they get a chance to play the Dallas Mavericks. Luka's going to be excited. I know the Mavericks fans are going to be excited to watch that game, or sad. But, Mark, you've been talking about this team. You've been talking about LeBron James is made with polyurethane. This dude just continues to get better and better and better. But now Luka Doncic finally looked like what the Lakers fans was hoping he would look like.
Harge, I don't know what he's made out of, but whatever it is, give me some. I need it. The Lakers just look amazing. And I'm not saying that being a Laker fan, I'm gonna give you a couple of things. Okay, it's because I'm a fan. The number one thing was the fact that they threw 3 different looks at them in the first half. They played zone, they played man, and they denied the ball to Joker.
Yep.
And they've never done any of those things in previous years. And you think, why in the last 2 years, why would you not deny him the ball? Just don't let it, once he passes it, don't let him get it back.
Yep.
I never even thought of that. You know, I'm thinking, why would you not think of that? But JJ Redick did. So my hat's off to JJ Redick for trying new things. And on top of that, we said the Lakers don't have enough bigs to contend with Joker. Alex Len played 7-10 minutes. He's really not acclimated to that team yet, but
I don't think he's going to be a major part of it today.
Well, he's a body.
Yeah,
He's a body to throw at Joker. He's a big dude, 7 feet legit, 255 pounds. He's somebody that could actually go at him once he gets up to speed. But the thing that was Jackson Hayes played out of his mind. He played so well that I just said, you know what? Maybe the denying the ball is the answer.
Yep.
And then Vanderbilt is only 6'8", but Vanderbilt is 240 pounds.
Yeah.
He's not a small guy. And he did a really good job of fronting Joker. So that defensive strategy turned into offense because they ended up having 7 turnovers in the first half, and most of them, I think, was converted to points.
Well, it's kind of interesting, too, because the Joker still had a triple-double. Shocker. If you stop me if you've ever heard that before.
Right.
But it wasn't his effectiveness in that matchup that was the problem. He only took 7 shots, got to the free throw line, though, and went 8 of 10. But the problem with me in this particular game, they shot 40% from the field. That's the Denver Nuggets. They didn't get to the foul line as much as the Lakers. And to your point, Mark, the way that they were just throwing different things at Joker, making him uncomfortable, getting the ball out of his hands, he was totally, I wouldn't say handcuffed, but he was strapped.
Yeah.
He had ended up having 6 turnovers, which led the team for the Denver Nuggets. And that's not Joker-esque. I mean, that was just something that Mike Malone said, hey, we got our behinds kicked today, and they were the more physical team.
Have you ever seen Joker look tired?
No.
I never seen him look tired. He looked haggard by the third period. They ran so much at him, through him, around him, that he had to interact the whole game. And that's another JJ Redick strategy. Let's make him work.
Right.
Let's get him tired. And when he went to the bench, it was like they threw gasoline on the fire. The Lakers started running and running up and down the court. And they have the pieces to do that with Joker off the floor. So that's their strategy. Don't let him get the ball. Work him as hard as he can work, and then get him off the floor to the sideline so we can do more work.
Well, the Lakers are now 34-21, 15-14 away from the Crypto. Crypto will be home tomorrow night as they get ready to take on the Dallas Mavericks in a big matchup. Still don't have AD in Dallas. They got beat yesterday, but you start to look at how things are going to play out. The NBA is a league of runs, and you know as well as I do, this might be that turning point for Luka. This might be that moment where LeBron is like, okay, now I know I can run the floor. You got balance from Rui Hachimura. He had 21 points. LeBron with 25. Luka with 32.
Austin Reeves played out of his mind.
23 points with 7 assists. Austin Reeves We need to put respect on his name.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But before we put that respect on his name, you just mentioned something about the Dallas Mavericks going to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
They fought a hard fight against Golden State.
Yep.
And Golden State is another team that had a bunch of trades. They brought in Jimmy as the world turns Butler, and they have turned that team around. They're 4-1 with him on that team.
Yep.
And we got to talk about that too.
Yep. But before we do that, let's go and listen to Luka Doncic on how he's feeling and what he took away from that ball game.
What have the last 3 weeks been like for you personally?
Hard, different, but I'm happy to be playing basketball. So like I say, every day is going to get better to me. I'm happy to be here. Play with these guys has been incredible. So I'm happy for the new journey.
Keep smiling.
Thank you.
Outstanding stuff by Luka Doncic, and we'll see how his body responds to that ball game and see what they are able to do coming up this week. But you brought it up. You talked about the Warriors. The Warriors looking good. They defeated the Mavericks yesterday, 126-102. Steph Curry with 30 points. Jimmy Butler doing his thing. But Kyrie Irving, who is kind of taking over this team as the leader, he needs some help. Some of the guys were back. PJ Washington is back. Dante Exum was in the starting lineup for some reason. And Max Christie, he's been a special part of the success that they had since he's been there, but he was held to just 2 points yesterday. So, but looking at Golden State, Draymond Green plus 19 in the plus minus with 13 points. Jimmy Butler, 18 points plus 28 when he was on the floor. Jimmy Butler decided to show up and show out, huh?
Well, a lot of it is the fact that the confidence of the people around him. Jimmy Butler does a lot of those intangible things that we always talk about, and the confidence is up in the players. And Steph Curry is playing like that. I always use this reference. He plays like the little kid standing behind the big brother. He's better when he has a team full of dogs. And you look at the lineup that they put out there.
Yep.
You had Looney at center. You had Draymond Green at power forward. Jimmy Butler.
Actually, you had Moody at center to start off.
Well, I mean, in the meat of the turnaround, Looney was on the floor, blocking shots and playing defense and getting rebounds. Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler, they did not turn the ball over. Draymond Green was 500. Jimmy Butler was shooting really close to 50%. Everybody was stable, and then Steph Curry got to get off. And so the comment that Draymond Green made about they'll win a championship, I can't co-sign for that.
No.
That's hyperbole.
Nope.
But what I can co-sign for is they are a much better team with Jimmy Butler.
Braden Podzinski, a guard, he has been unbelievable. He had 13 rebounds as a 6'3" guard going in there playing, and has been very, very impressive with this team. Him and Jimmy Butler look like they're working well together, but it was an all-out effort by all of those guys, and they went with a small lineup to start the game. But Jimmy Butler, to your point, doing some of those intangible things kind of changed the energy around the Golden State Warriors. Good conversation. The Lakers are back. We'll see what happens next. But coming up in the next segment, will Micah Parsons be traded from the Dallas Cowboys? Say what?
Told you.
Or do the Cowboys decide, you know what, we got to keep that lion in his den? We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Texas basketball plays here.
Julian Larry out to Johnson. Long contested three. It hits bottom.
1300 The Zone.
Out front, Kent. A high arcing three is good for Jason Kent.
If you bleed burnt orange, you need the best coverage of Longhorn basketball.
Kaluma, a rebound, turnaround slam.
Exclusive interviews, coaches show, and every game day and every day. Keep that burnt orange blood pumping with 1300 The Zone and your Longhorns.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
We have a slowdown, 21 minutes, setting you back in Travis, 35 northbound between 45, the toll road, and William Cannon Drive. A fresh accident in Williamson. Right shoulder is blocked. 35 southbound at Leander Road, about a 4-minute delay. And on the Mopac southbound at West Howard Lane, we have an accident reported causing a 4-minute delay. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
These times of massive inflation have people just like you strapped.
As far as my debt, I was drowning in debt. My balances were never going down. I was making payments every month. It was just draining every resource I had.
The Debt Management Group can help. In the first free call, they will explain all the relief programs you may qualify for to get you out of debt fast.
They saved me thousands of dollars, especially in interest. I would have never paid off this debt without their help.
I felt like it was a burden lifted off my shoulders. It felt amazing, and I felt like I could actually see a future for me and my kids.
The sooner you call, the faster you can get the relief you deserve. It's free information on all the debt relief programs you qualify for, plus guaranteed confidentiality. Call 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470. Call now to find out about the best debt forgiveness, consolidation, modification, and settlement programs available. 800-933-3470. That's 800-933-3470.
The comfort of your favorite seat is now also your comfy car-selling throne thanks to Carvana.
That's nice.
Just enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds.
There's no place like home.
Visit Carvana to sell your car from your comfy place.
I'm Sia, and I support Humane World for Animals, formerly called the Humane Society of the United States. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
Cars today are built to last, but how they look is up to you, and that's where Maaco comes in. They specialize in cosmetic repairs. Let's say it's affordable paint jobs to fixing those annoying dents and dings. Maybe your car's paint is faded, or you've been meaning to fix that scrape from the grocery store parking lot. Whatever it is, Maaco has you covered. Now, here's the best part. Stop by your local Maaco, free estimate, and you're going to find out how easy it is to refresh your ride. With more Americans keeping their cars longer, now's the time to protect your investment and keep it looking sharp for years. And you can do so with the great folks at Maaco. At Maaco, they are proud to be a trusted partner for drivers across the country. Whether it's a fresh coat of paint for your car or fixing up everyday dents and dings, Maaco is here to keep your car looking its best. Get started, visit your local Maaco today, get the free estimate, and see how easy it is to bring new life to your ride. Better get Maaco.
Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual.
Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
1300 The Zone and the Round Rock Express. That's a double play.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. The NFL Combine starts this week, but a lot of stories are on players that are on teams. Well, we'll see what kind of teams they end up being on, but there's a lot of scuttle around Micah Parsons and the expectations of this young man. Micah Parsons has been under a lot of scrutiny here lately. It seems like everybody wants to talk about his podcast and why is he not focusing on football, and why can't people have two things that they do? They can still do football and podcasts. People do it in baseball. They do it in basketball. Draymond Green has a podcast, and everybody's not saying anything about that. But Micah Parsons is in a situation where his contract is at the point of no return. He is one of the best players in the league. He continues to get better and better. But now, are the Dallas Cowboys ready to move from him and try to get a whole bunch of picks? Or do you find a way to keep that man happy and in the city of Dallas?
I would definitely try my best to get rid of him this season.
Mark, you are the king of getting rid of people,
well,
dog.
Let me give you my reason why.
Okay.
My reason why is they don't need one more guy having the Jerry Jones effect, the crypt keeper, if you will. We can't have that. You got Dak adopting the Jerry Jones diarrhea of the mouth. Micah Parsons has adopted it. Everybody's talking. But what are they doing? So I believe that this draft can really help the Cowboys. They've had 2 guys retire. Keanu Neal and Zach Martin have retired. They got more money now. This is the time to rebuild. You rebuild with a draft that's full of defensive players. If you can get multiple picks in the first round and a pick next year, this is the year to do it. And I feel like that the Cowboys are realizing that. Tank, he gone. They have to rebuild. And all these high money players are not getting the job done. And if he wasn't on the injury reserve list right now, I would be like, Diggs, goodbye.
You really don't like Diggs.
I really don't like him.
Yeah.
He'll unlace your shoestrings. That's about all he can do. He didn't cover well this year. He got so many big-time catches caught on him, third down and whatever. The last thing you want to see is your star, highest paid defensive corner, get a first down caught on him. That happened a lot.
Well, maybe some of that had to do with the scheme that was being drawn up, too. You can't put it all on them. They didn't say, hey, you just going to cover this side of the field. That was Mike Zimmer as a defensive coordinator. Maybe that is it. I know you don't like Diggs, and I'm not going to change your mind on that. But some of that is scheme. You know that. You know that a lot of times he's not on the island by himself.
Well, Zimmer had a lot to do with it, too.
Yeah.
And he gone.
Yeah, he is gone.
So it's a lot that needed to change, and I think that you change everything. If you're gonna start changing the recipe, don't just change what protein is in the recipe. Yeah. Change all of it, and that's what the Cowboys need to do.
Well, right now, if the Cowboys were to sign Micah Parsons, they know that it won't be cheap. His current market value would be $33.7 million per season, according to Spot Track. And that would rival Nick Bosa's salary, who is the highest paid pass rusher in the NFL. So that too plays a part into it. Where's that money going to go? Then you also have to look at Micah's history. Micah is one of the best to play his position, even if you see sometimes you will say, oh, well, he doesn't look that good. Well, He was in 2021. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's been a Pro Bowler all 4 seasons. He had 12 sacks in 13 games last year, and he was not the reason why the Cowboys did not make the playoffs.
He was not the reason.
He was not the reason, but there is a lot of conversation being had about what you could get for Micah Parsons. You talked about the salary cap and what would need to happen. Right now, under the current state of it, they only have $2.5 million in cap space in the current state of it. They will have an opportunity to renegotiate some contracts. We talked about that last week about who should or shouldn't have their contracts renegotiated. And of course, obviously Dak Prescott would be at the top of that.
And CeeDee Lamb
and CD would
and
need
Diggs.
To be, yep. you just want Diggs gone. So we got to find somebody else to take that contract. But you start looking at it and you say Dak restructure, CD restructure, Terrence Steele restructure, Donovan Wilson may be cut. That will save you some money. And Damone Clark will be released. As we talked about before, the Cowboys are still sitting over that cap. But if they free up some of that money, there's a huge opportunity for all those guys to make some money.
And don't forget, the cap is actually going to go up.
It has gone up. So my question to you, if Micah Parsons has to be traded, where do you think he would end up, and where would you get the most value from it?
If I was going to trade him, I would be like, look, I need 2 first-round picks, and I need a wide receiver that complements CeeDee Lamb.
Well, if you got those first-round picks, wouldn't you be able to go and draft one of those wide receivers?
You could, but
this is a deep, deep draft. Because
Yeah.
if you go get somebody, you're going to end up having to pay him unless you're going to take over his contract.
You know what I mean by compliment CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Like CeeDee Lamb is a slasher. He's all-purpose. The Cowboys need a high enough draft pick to be able to draft that 6'5" wide receiver from Arizona. That's the only option. They need a possession type receiver with a little burst, just like Higgins. So I feel like if you can't get him, then don't worry about wide receiver in the draft.
Well, I mean, you still have to have somebody,
You got
right?
to spend that money in free agency.
But that's the problem. If you're going to spend in free agency, you got to be able to spend it with Micah Parsons. If you're going to spend, well, you're trading him, so let's just say that. But you also have to look at it and say, okay, with this Dallas Cowboy team, how is it constructed? What are they going to look like? We talked about the offensive line. We talked about the defensive line. You're talking about a wide receiver position. We don't know what this offense is going to be structured like. You still have a awesome tight end in Ferguson that you still have right now. What position? You're not high enough in the draft to go get that McMillan kid from Arizona. What are you looking at? Will you go get a Matthew Golden a little bit later in the draft? Will you go get another wide receiver that was a big-time player? I don't think you're going to be able to get Luther Burden. I think that's the Missouri wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of talent that will be out there in the wide receiver room. You still don't have a running back. You still don't have that position figured out either, let alone letting Micah Parsons go.
What do you think
You gotta
about
fill
this?
that void as well.
What do you think about this sign and trade deal? Send Micah Parsons to Cincinnati, and then you take Hendrickson. Now you got both players both locked up for 4 years, and now you got Hendrickson for 4 years. They have Micah Parsons for 4 years, and you've almost fixed $100 million salary right off the bat.
But that's the thing. Both of those guys, you're looking at Trey Hendrickson. He is demanding a lot of big money as well.
Right, they both going to get $100 million. So, like, you need productivity, and that's what I'm saying. They and I would still want their draft pick. I would still want the draft pick. Give it up or get it took.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that the Cowboys have to look at. I know that this week, as we talked about, the combine is going on, and at the combine, you know that there's a lot of GMs, a lot of front office people. That means you're going to see the crypt keeper talking to people, and there might be some rumblings about possible trades. This is when all the chaos starts to happen with the underwear Olympics going on in Indianapolis. So it will be interesting. But if you ask me, you don't get rid of Micah Parsons. You can't, because how are you going to replace that if you think you're getting it in a draft? That's not for sure thing. At least this guy's got something on tape.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but this is also probably in the last, listening to Daniel Jeremiah, who I take a lot of what he says as stock because he's been right a lot. He said that this was the best draft for drafting defensive ends and defensive tackles in the last 5 years. Think about in the last 5 years, all the people from Georgia and Texas and Ohio State and different places that have come out and been superstars. This is the best one?
Yeah.
And they say the kid Abdul Carter, like he could be the next Micah Parsons.
Well, he happens to be from Penn State as well. So
you get a guy that runs a 4.40 that has his abilities, who took over the playoffs, the college football playoffs with one arm.
Yeah, he was very impressive. I
So-
didn't even think he was going to be able to play.
Right. And the toughness that he showed in playing. So there's a lot out there. I feel like if you get multiple picks in the first round, maybe you get 2 defensive ends that are talented players to try to rectify the fact that you lost the one.
Right. Well,
You lost Neo.
yeah. Well, think about this too. Miles Garrett is on the trading block. He wants out. So there is a lot that goes.
And he's a
into
Texan.
This. Yeah, but the last time you had a chance to get to a Texas player that lived in your city, you messed up not one but 2. Derrick Henry wanted to be a Cowboy, and let's not forget
Aaron Jones wanted to be a Cowboy too.
Von Miller was wanting to be a Cowboy as well, and you decide to move on from them. Like you said before, as the world turns when it comes with Jimmy Butler, it's like the days of like sands through the hourglass.
So are the days of our lives.
When it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. When we come back, you know what time it is. The world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
We still have the stop and go traffic in Travis, 35 northbound between 45 Toll Road and William Cannon Drive, causing about a 13-minute delay. In Williamson, we still have that accident blocking the right shoulder, 35 southbound at Leander Road. That's about a 2-minute delay. Stop and go traffic back to 2338. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by True Green. We're back in the Miller's Yard, who now use True Green. Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
How did you sleep last night? If you find yourself restless, you know where to turn. Factory Mattress. During the Factory Mattress President's Day sale, get a queen mattress set with an adjustable power base for only $589, or turn 2 bedrooms into sleep sanctuaries for the price of 1 with buy 1 get 1 free deluxe mattresses. Enhance your sleep and save more, because nobody can sell for less than Factory Mattress.
My Factory Mattress.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital, and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
Want to win 2,000 times your money simply by watching sports? With Better Picks, every play will have you on the edge of your seat, as game day just got 2,000 times more exciting. That's right, with Better Picks, you can turn $5 into $10,000, $10 into $20,000, all the way up to $100,000 payouts. So take that pocket change and turn it into real winnings.
And it's super simple to use. Just pick a few players, choose more or less on their stats, and follow along live.
So why would you play daily fantasy anywhere else when you can win up to 2,000 times your money on Better Picks? Dial ***win or go to betrpicks.com and use promo code RADIO to get your first entry matched in bonus funds, win or lose, up to $250. That's ***WIN or go to betrpicks.com and use promo code RADIO.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather calling for a dense fog advisory for your Monday morning, becoming mainly sunny, a high of 72. Clear tonight, a low of 45. Tuesday, sunny skies, a high in the mid-70s.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows that with job site delivery as soon as same day, you can get what you need without losing valuable time. They help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes for same-day delivery. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Why did the godfather of AI warn that the very thing he helped create now has a 10 to 20% chance of leading to human extinction in the next 3 decades? And what did he learn from losing his wife to cancer about how to approach the future of AI? I'm Oz Voloshin, host of Tech Stuff, and I'm so excited to share this memorable and intimate conversation with Nobel laureate Geoffrey Hinton. Listen to Tech Stuff on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Tech Stuff to start listening.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
You heard that beat drop, and that can only mean one thing. WWE Hall of Famer and world's strongest man, the Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
Harge.
What's up, man?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Khalil, back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Guys, I've finally put it together.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And it's not going to take me long. I'm going to jump on and jump off. The NBA has separated itself in the talent pool. There are 4 teams that I think, and this is my take, and I'm thinking it, and I'm putting it on paper right now.
Okay.
There are 4 teams that can win the title in the West, and there are 4 teams that can win the title in the East. And I'm going to break it down for you.
Come on.
Number 1, in the East, the current champion, Boston Celtics. The Cleveland Cavaliers. The Milwaukee Bucks. And the New York Knicks. And the New York Knicks has proven over the last 10 games against top 5 teams in the NBA, they are 0-7. Not good. Milwaukee Bucks, they've lost a stalwart on their team for 25 games. They may drop out of that top 4. I'm just going with what's current right now. Giannis and Dame Lillard, they're long in the tooth, 1 injury away from going to Galveston. But Boston and Cleveland, it will be one of those 2. And then you go out west, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're just running through the West right now.
They're fun to watch, too.
They are fun to watch. And then you got Denver. The Joker, you cannot count him out. And then you have the Los Angeles Lakers. Look at that. And Memphis. Guys, Memphis is not equipped for what the Lakers bring. They're not equipped for what Denver brings or what Oklahoma City. Strike them out. And then the Lakers, I feel like, have solved the problem for Denver.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Denver, knock them out.
No adjustments, huh?
And now you got down to the Los Angeles Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Oklahoma City Thunder has incredible depth, incredible youth, but Luka went to the finals last year. LeBron James, guys, is LeBron James. Say no more.
Yeah,
Austin Reeves and company have really taken what J.J. Redick has put in front of them, and they are now a front runner. It is going to be a dogfight between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Lakers. So the Final Four is OKC, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Boston Celtics, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you want to hear something funny? You know who's won against all of them? The top four? The Los Angeles Lakers has beat all three of those other teams. So, with that being said, I crown the king.
Oh, my goodness.
LeBron James will win another NBA championship and will retire. On top, like the greats do. I rest my case. What say you?
Wow. You already crowning them because they had a good weekend?
I'm crowning them.
I'm like, man, that's all it takes. Then, yeah, they're the champs. But Cleveland is 42-0 when leading heading to the fourth quarter. Think about that.
It's crazy.
That's an unbelievable stat.
Unbelievable.
You start to look at the NBA and the talent pool. You know, you talked about Luka getting to the finals last year, came up short, was out of shape. Is he going to be in shape? That's the other part of this. Is his motivation there because he got hot for a second? As you say, back then they didn't know me, now they hot. They all on me. Well, we'll see what happens with that. But I look at this NBA, and until you beat the champs to become the champs, you still got to put respect on their name.
You got to put respect
and Boston still looks like they are ready to defend their crown.
Why does Jason Tatum not get the respect he deserves?
Because he doesn't ask for it. He doesn't gloat. He doesn't walk around like, oh, look
beating
at
his
me.
chest.
Yeah, he's just out there hooping. He does get frustrated a lot, and he thinks he deserves certain calls. I do see that in him, but I don't see him. He's not a commercial guy. He likes to stay low key. He has been on some commercials. I mean, he does a good job, but he's just not that guy. And I don't think a lot of people like him anyway. I told you before, DJ.
He got the face that everybody love to hate.
Yeah, he got that face that people want to punch. You know, it's
God.
But he's out there hooping. And then you look at what Jaylen Brown has been able to do with him. That whole squad for Boston, they just kind of lay in the weeds and let y'all talk about them and make them look like they're not going to be champs until they are. We talked about Cleveland, but OKC is getting healthy. They have all-stars. They have these young players that truly look like they have so much fun playing together.
Yeah.
Like last night in that matchup against Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, another person who we talked about last week, possibly doesn't want to be the face of the league, not ready for it, but whatever. And Kevin Durant told us what exactly does that mean? What's the job description on that? But you look at what Anthony Edwards is. He's that guy. He's that guy that's supposed to be there. But what did they do? OKC is a team that shut them down and still put that on them. I like your take. We will reconvene on that because I want to see if the king can be crowned again. Another outstanding take by the world's strongest man. We're going to close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick right here on the Longhorns Monday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The run for a title continues for Texas women's basketball.
Shea Holly, a three-pointer good. Shea Holly knocks down the three, and the Longhorns go up by 10.
Catch all the action on our sister station.
Baseline in traffic, put it up. Reverse side and got it. What a move on the baseline for Leah Moore to go under the basket. Reverse side, got the bucket and won.
103.1, Austin's 80 station. Hook off.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
We still have the stop-and-go traffic in Travis, 35 northbound between 45 Toll Road and William Cannon Drive, causing about a 13-minute delay. In Williamson, we still have that accident blocking the right shoulder, 35 southbound at Leander Road. That's about a 2-minute delay. Stop-and-go traffic back to 2338. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's.
Flu season is here and Randall's has got you covered. The Randall's in-store pharmacy is offering free flu vaccines with most insurance plans. Plus, get 10% off your groceries when you get an immunization at Randall's. Go to randalls.com or check out the app for more details.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
At the Home Depot, it's our business to support yours. Partner with your go-to source for building your business. We can help you streamline your operations by supplying the whole job from start to finish. Any questions? Our Pro Desk is ready to answer the call with supply sourcing, custom orders, large equipment rentals, and more. Elevate your efficiency and take on more projects with the partner you can trust. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
My name is Kyle Tequila, host of the shocking new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Kenny was a Chicago firefighter who lived a secret double life as a mafia hitman.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything. He was a crazy man.
He was my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Listen to Crook County on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Crook County to start listening.
Have you found your new favorite feature on the iHeart Radio app yet? Presets and lyrics. This is so good.
I've been telling all my friends. Wait, you guys aren't using this yet? You're missing out.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
iHeart Radio.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. We've been providing custom electronic systems for Central Texas for more than 36 years. And
Old man, I think they all know who you are and what your company does. This is Camilla McKay. The old man believes in big fun and big ideas. He can make dreams come true, so why not dream big? I've been up in Boston, but I know the old man and all his friends and fellow radio heads have been spreading the holiday spirit here in Texas. Why should we stop there? Keep spreading the good feelings all over. Audiovisual Consultations carries all major brands of televisions and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores. And you don't have to leave your house. Just like Santa, they deliver the gifts to you.
Yeah, I like that, kid. Throw a party, hang out with your friends, catch a concert.
That's all fun and good, but can we get back to the business? You can give us a call at 512-255-8678 or visit our website at avconsultations.com for some cool electronics.
Oh, now you're forgetting something.
And as always, hug your kids. We only pretend to be annoyed. Watch some games with your friends and make love to whoever the hell you want.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
The Round Rock Express play here. 1300 The Zone.
Another great show. What a way to kick off our week. We got a busy week around here, and it starts tonight as the Texas women's basketball team travels to Georgia tonight, 6 p.m. tip-off, SEC Network. This team has been playing unbelievable basketball, but we haven't seen them in over a week. Their last game was February the 16th against LSU in front of a raucous crowd at the Moody Center, 65-58 victory. Now they have to regroup, get ready to go because they have a 3-game stretch starting tonight, 2 on the road, 1 at Georgia, and Vic going back to Starkville, Mississippi, where he won a national championship with the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and then finishing it off March the 2nd at home, 1 o'clock. Vic said 10,000 people, he'll donate $10,000 to the Neighborhood Longhorns Foundation against Florida. So make sure you pack the mood. But Mark, this basketball team is gelling at the right time. They took the week off. I don't know if our girl Aaliyah Moore is going to be back. I haven't seen the SEC scouting report just yet to see if she's going to be back. But let's just say this, Kyla Oldacre playing outstanding as a big man in the middle. You got Brianna Preston, who has been outstanding, the freshman, getting her opportunities to go out there and play. And the other freshman, Jordan Lee, playing in big-time moments and big-time minutes for Vic Schaefer. But this team goes as number 35. Madison Booker goes, and Taylor Jones on the inside. How impressed have you been with the way that this team continues to find ways to get dubs?
I've been super impressed with the way that they've gone about their business, and I've been super impressed with the way they've been coached. And I think that that is a unwritten thing right now, what Coach Vic Schaefer has done to motivate and get these women ready to play. I want them to go into this Georgia game the same way they went into the South Carolina game. Same mentality, same focus. I feel like, you know, we had our men go into South Carolina thinking, well, they're a bottom basement team, and they played down to that and got beat. You cannot go into a game thinking, okay, we're ranked better than them, we're better than them. And if Texas can avoid, as Nick Saban used to say, eating the cheese, then Texas women will be fine.
Yeah, this women's basketball team, all I know is every time I see them play, the one thing that you're definitely not going to question is heart. Yeah. They play hard from start to finish. And if you're not playing hard, he'll get you out, sit you down and talk to you, and then get you right back in there. But the freshmen that have stepped up this season, it has been unbelievable. You look at what Justice Carlton has been able to do. She's been playing great on the post. We talked about Jordan Lee stepping up and making that big-time shot against LSU when Texas was struggling from beyond the arc. She knocks it down. And then the freshman, Brianna Preston, her energy, the intensity in which she plays. And the cool thing about it all, Vic has found a way to play Brianna and Rory Harmon on the court at the same time to apply that defensive pressure that you as a ball handler, you're going to try to get up the court. It is a very uncomfortable situation trying to get yourself into your offense when they're guarding you 94 feet.
Harsh, that plays into one of the things that we talked about in the break. And I think that we should let everybody know that Coach Schaefer went and talked to the number one player in the country. And as Texas plays, they play a lot of freshmen.
Yep.
That's the number one thing that I would pitch. Look, you look at our freshmen. Look what they've done. We play our freshmen.
Yep.
We're going to win for the next 3 to 4 years because we have already an outstanding crop of people on our team.
Yeah.
And we're ranked number 2 in the country with a chance to be number 1 in the country real soon.
It could definitely be number 1 in the country real soon. And the person that he's talking about is Aaliyah Chavez out of Lubbock, Monterey. She is the best player in high school basketball right now. She's the number 1 player in the state. And
Tell them why you think that she won't come to Texas.
Well, I'm not going to go there just yet. I'm not saying she's not, but I just know that if she's in that area and they got a little bit of change up there, that is just what happens. Aaliyah is the number 1 player. She is the one that everybody has talked about. She's been the top player for a long time. She's had 4 straight seasons at Lubbock, Monterey of over 1,000 points. In her last game, I believe she scored 50 to push it across. She was the National Player of the Year for Max Prep. She's on the watch list. They haven't announced it yet, but she's on the watch list, and she's averaged 36 points this year.
Well, I mean that's Coach Schaefer.
All-around talent.
That's an easy pitch.
Yeah.
And all the money in Texas and in Austin, like somebody's gonna pony up.
I mean,
that collective is that one fund. That's what they for, right?
Yeah, but the one fund needs people to donate to the one fund.
Hey
make
guys,
sure
this is the Mark
giving it
Henry
to 'em.
pitch right now. Donate to the one fund. We want the best, and in order to get the best, you have to pay the best. And this is not the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball or hockey.
Yep.
Independent owners don't run it. We do.
There we go. Yeah, she's been unbelievable. She's leading Monterey to the state semifinals for the first time in 35 seasons. So she's been just that special of a player, and she continues to put pressure on people. She scored 50 points in their playoff win just the other day. So you talk about talent, Mamba mentality. She definitely has that, and she's one that everybody
How many assists
for.
did she have?
I don't know if we put that on there, but she is a unselfish basketball player. But if you're the best and you want your team to win, I mean, sometimes you just got to take over when it's called for you to take over. She's talented. A lot of folks keep looking at her, and they continue to push. I want to thank you for tuning in today. I want to thank my man Mark Henry. Of course, I want to thank our guy Khalil for holding us down, but most importantly, I want to thank you, the people, for continuing to support the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.